Welcome to Japji Sahib, Pauri 13. We started discussing about Manan in the last Pauri. Manan is the state of no mind which can be attained through the state of mind. Manan can be attained through Man. And that was the method given by Guru Nanak Dev Ji to chant Om. Om is that mantra that can be used, but it is not a mandatory mantra that needs to be used to reach the state of no mind. You can use either Ram or Rahim or Allah or Ameen. You can use Amen. You can use Shalom. It does not matter what word you use as a mantra. You can use your own name. Yes, no jokes. There was a poet, Tennyson, who said that I can just take my own name, Tennyson, 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 and from there I go into my own state of no mind, into silence. It doesn't matter what name or word you use. I just told you the significance of Om and how the word Om was born. It is not a mandatory word to be used. The key is not the word or mantra that is used. The key is you moving from the state of mind that is sound to the state of no mind, which is silence. This step is very essential. So don't get stuck in external words. Words are just words. Sound is just sound. Use it as a stepping stone into the internal silence. So the word that you use to dive into the state of no mind is not really important. Don't get stuck into all this. Lots of people in the history of mankind got stuck into words and spoilt their spiritual journeys and spoilt many other people's spiritual journeys. These are the insincere seekers. They are not very sincere about their spiritual journey or their spiritual path. They are not looking for a true teacher and they are not looking to transform themselves. What is the difference between a sincere seeker and an insincere seeker? A sincere seeker is looking to transform himself. He wants to know the truth. He has the love for truth. He has the commitment towards truth. And for that, he is ready to do anything to attain that truth. Whereas an insincere seeker, he does not want to transform himself really. He wants a teacher who will just tell him good things which are pleasant to hear, but oh, it's for my neighbor. My neighbor is bad. I am good. I'm all perfect. How can perfection be improved? You know, that's how an insincere seeker is. He does not want to really transform. He finds every excuse to not go into the state of Manan or no mind. He says, oh, there's so many complications. My mind does not settle down. I cannot meditate. This technique does not work. That master is not good. This path is not right. This scripture is wrong. Oh, this is not my cup of coffee. You know, he comes up with a million reasons. He is an insincere seeker. Such an insincere seeker also gets stuck in, oh, Om is not the word that belongs to my religion, it is the other person's religion. So that is why I tell you the word does not matter. Take your own name, move from mind to the state of no mind. In any way you move, you will reach home. Walk sincerely and you will definitely get to Manan. Keep walking, keep walking. Shunyata is waiting for you. It is who you are. The beauty of Manan is that it has several layers of silence enveloped one within the other. Just like you peel an onion, you peel one layer, there is another layer inside. You peel that layer, there is another layer inside. And you peel that, and there's something else inside. Like that, you can peel silence one by one, and go deeper and deeper. This is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji explains in Pauri 13. So first we'll look at Pauri 13 and then we'll understand what layers get peeled and what emerges from deep within that silence. मन नै सूरत होवे मन बुध मन नै सगल बवन की सुध मन नै मुँह झूठा न खाए मन नै जम के साथ न जाए ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए जेको मन जाने मन कोई मन नै सूरत हुए मन बुध. By Manan only is Surat. The word Surat there is Surati or awareness. By Manan only is Surati born, or it is already there, but it becomes apparent, it blossoms, it emerges, it rises out from the underneath layer and becomes a fully blossomed flower. Just by Manan, your awareness or knowingness will blossom. What does this mean? Manan takes you into the depths of the silence. I chant a mantra, for example, I chant the word Amin. That word is an external sound. After the chant is over, I still hear the word at the thought level in my mind. And that also silences in a few moments, and there is just the reverberation or the echo of the chant. And that also slowly fades away into silence. And then I just dive into that silence. I don't allow my mind to get distracted by any external thoughts or sounds. I am deep within, and I just go in. In that silence within, I recognize that I am fully aware, that there is complete awareness. As you practice going deeper and deeper into the silence, the awareness becomes sharper and sharper, and you become aware of that inner environment of yourself. Warning, the ego does not like this. The ego likes chit chat, it likes sound because there is spice in sound. It likes spicy food. It does not like bland food. Silence is very bland, very soft, simple, no spice there at all. Ego wants to pull you out. Yes, but you need to have the courage and the strength to bear the silence. Yes, silence is very powerful. Not everybody has the courage to bear silence. And that is when they always complain that they are lost in thoughts, that the mind does not shut up. The reason is because you have not learnt the skill to quieten this mind. Only you can do it. No external technique can help. You need to be that committed to the love of the truth of this moment that you let go of any and every distraction. You relax from it again and again, again and again. Relax from the distraction and dive deeper into that silence. When you dive deeper into the silence, the ego makes you restless. It does not want to let go of that shore. It's holding on to the shore. The shore is words, it's sound, the external world of people, situations, and things, and the thoughts about them, the emotions about them. It knows all this. It is certain what lies here. But what lies behind in that silence, the ego is not certain. So it does not want to let go of certainty. It holds on very strong. You have to have the courage to relax. The only way is to relax and let go of this holding on. Just relax, relax from every thought, relax from every emotion. Relax means what? When a thought comes, you will feel a clenching sensation here, in the whole head actually, if you are aware. Relax from it. Become unconcerned about that thought and go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into that silence. Some days you will be able to do it and some days you won't be able to do it. That's okay. It's a part of the practice. You dive deeper into that silence and that is called Manan. This will enhance your awareness, not awareness of something. Usually we are aware of that which I am seeing, aware of that which I am listening to, aware of that which I touch. I am aware of the external sense objects. We are not talking about just that awareness. We are talking about a deeper level of awareness. When I just tell you, be aware, not of something, but just be aware. So, you actually took a step back from the object that you were aware of, and now you are just with the awareness of awareness. Just be aware. This is Surati. This is knowingness. This is awareness. This is pure Sakshi Bhav. It has many names given by many sages in many different scriptures, but it is just one. The awareness of awareness. Just be there. The deeper you go into that in silence, the sharper it becomes. Now, what does it mean by becoming sharper? Usually, our awareness is one directional. If I am focusing outside at seeing something or listening to something or maybe even speaking, I am lost in that external object and the awareness of awareness is not there. You get it? It is just unidirectional. And when my awareness is just unidirectional, I can make lots of mistakes. For example, I can say things that I regret later. I can think thoughts that I feel bad about later. You see what I'm saying? Unidirectional awareness is the reason for most of your problems in life. Surati or Surat in Punjabi that Nanak is talking about is a multi-directional awareness or awareness that is there in all directions, not just outside but also inside. When I'm completely aware, completely awake, that is Surati. So, homework number 1 for you. Are you completely awake? What do I mean by awake? We usually are walking, talking, doing things mechanically. We are not 100% there in the present moment. Just because you must have gone through that particular route a million times, you drive mechanically. Just because you have done a particular task a million times before, you do it mechanically. Do you see this? You're not doing it consciously. You are literally unconscious. In Hindi, होश नहीं है, बेहोश जी रहे हो. You are doing that action as if you are hypnotized. You are not completely in the present moment. Check now. Are you watching me and listening to me in a hypnotic state, or are you super sharp aware? You already have your answer. When you are super sharp aware, moment to moment to moment to moment, that is called Surati. And how does that develop? By Manan. So keep working on your Manan. Automatically the Surati will emerge and blossom. And it will blossom in all directions. मन नए सगल भवन के सुत. By Manan only one knows all the realms. Now what does this mean? Until now, you could not experience yourself. This body-mind complex is not I, is not me. There is something deeper within that lies in the depths of that silence. The truth that needs to be unveiled to find out really who am I. And this becomes very clear when you go deeper and deeper and dive deeper into that silence. When you dive deeper and recognize the nothingness, the shunyata, the absolute stillness, and awakening happens, a realization happens that this shunyata, this nothingness is there not just here in me, but in him, in her, in her, in him, in her. It is there in every person. So, in the depths, at the core, we are all the same shunyata. We are the same nothingness. So, just like I see it in every person, that same shunyata is also in everything, every non living thing, every living being. This entire creation at its core is that absolute silence. In that silence, there is a lot of activity that sprouts, that plays for a while, and then it goes back into that silence. That activity is temporary, but that silence, which is the base, the shunyata, the nothingness from which everything comes and goes back, that is the only permanent truth. An awakening happens where you start recognizing that there is no real difference between the human kingdom and the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom. There are not many different worlds and realms. It is all just one. Or, in other words, you recognize everything existing in all the so-called worlds and realms. This awakening happens only when one gathers the courage to dive deep within. Truth is not outside, it is right here. The problem is that we are looking for it outside, in temples, in idols, in gurus, in external techniques, in external physical postures, breathing techniques. Yeah? All these are just a means for you to go within and dive into that silence. It is of no use if you use the technique to just go dip into the silence and come out. A dip is not good enough. One needs to dive deep into the ocean to actually find the hidden pearls. So gather the courage. Dive deep within. Your homework is to keep practicing diving into that shunyata. It doesn't matter what technique you use, what word you use, what yoga, asanas, pranayam, etc., etc., etc. that you use. The most important thing is to dive into that shunyata. You will have to let go of that technique, that word, that mantra to go into silence, because all these techniques, mantras are at the superficial word or thought or external world level. To dive down, you have to let go of the anchors. The job of the anchor is now done, and then you dive deeper and deeper and deeper. Take this homework of diving into shunyata and meditating for at least 1 hour. You use your mantra, your technique, your breath, your yogasanas only for the first 5, 7, 10 minutes. It is just a tool to dive into the silence within. Once you dip into the silence, now let go of the tool and keep diving. If some thought bothers you, just relax the clench in the forehead and the head, and dive, dive into that shunyata. Manan can be attained only by the Veera, the courageous one. So be courageous. मन नहीं मोह छोटा न खाए. By Manan, one shall never be struck across the face. What is the meaning of being struck across the face? We live so unconsciously. We say so many things out of the state of man or mind that we get into trouble because we live as if we are hypnotized, as if we are intoxicated by people, situations, and things of this world. We are not living consciously. And because we are not living consciously, we keep getting struck across the face, as in we keep encountering problems and get into trouble again and again with people, situations, and things, or our own minds. Our own minds create a lot of trouble for ourselves. When you speak from the state of no mind, when you act from the state of no mind, when you live consciously, always in that state of no mind or manan, then you do not get struck across the face. You are always awake, you are always aware. Intoxication does not take over you, does not overwhelm you. When you are so much in the present moment, how will you make a mistake? How can there be a folly? And if there is no folly, no mistake, you are continuously conscious, continuously in the present moment, there is no karma created for you. If you must strive for something in life, strive to attain the state of manan. Again, if you crave for it, craving is again of the mind. You are still in man. When you relax from craving, craving even for the state of no mind, you just relax. That's it. You are automatically in the state of manan or no mind. मन नए जम के साथ न जाए. Here Jam is Yama, the Lord of Death. So by Manan, one does not have to go with the Lord of Death when it is time to move on. How come? Everybody has to die, right? Everybody's body has to go with the Lord of Death, Jam or Yama. Actually, there is no Grim Reaper, the Lord of Death, or Yama, a black hooded figure holding the scythe who comes to you at the time of death. These are just depictions, symbolism. Yama actually means fear. Each one of us has this fear of uncertainty, and hidden behind that fear of uncertainty is the fear of death. Yama is another word or name given to this fear of death or fear of uncertainty. Even if we are unhappy with our lives, with the people, situations, and things in our lives, at least we know the ghosts that are there in our lives. There is some kind of certainty. But what about after death? What happens when I let go of this body? What happens when I let go of the people in my life? What happens if I let go of all my possessions in this lifetime? Will I be comfortable on the other side? There is no certainty, and this brings fear. This fear is yama. Each one of us suffers from this yama as long as we are lost in our world of cravings and aversions. In other words, as long as we are lost in man or mind, as long as we are living unconsciously, as long as we are not awake. When you start living consciously, when you become awake, when you are constantly in the state of manan, no mind, then there is no fear, because fear is only of losing this body and its attachments. That drops away with man or mind. When you reach the state of manan, there is no yama, there is no lord of death, there is no fear, because you recognize at the core, I am that shunyata, that nothingness, that untouched, that untainted, that which never was born and never dies. When that becomes very clear, there is no more attachment to this body. You look at it just as a vehicle that comes into this samsara to exhaust its karmas. Once its karmas are exhausted, it is actually celebration time. So there is no fear of death. The shunyata does not die. Nothingness cannot be killed. You are that nothingness. So what is Nanak trying to tell you here? He's telling you, live your life in awareness, continuously, ceaselessly, aware moment to moment to moment. One who lives in awareness dies in awareness. One who lives in unawareness, how will he die? In unawareness, unconsciously. And if you die in unawareness, you are going to be fearful because you don't want to let go. You are holding on. You are holding on so tight. You are going to be shaking. You are going to be crying. One who dies in awareness, he knows that death is just a doorway to meet God, to be in that shunyata, to just dissolve into that nothingness, into who I really am. A jnani goes laughing, happily smiling, and ajnani dies crying. Are you a jnani or an ajnani? You check. The next line is, ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए जे को मन जाने मन कोए. The name of the Lord is so immaculate. The one who reaches the stage of manan, he knows it. Again, there is no real name like I explained the last time. It is that shunyata, that nothingness, that silence within. And that silence has an echo or a sound of its own. And that is untouched. That is untainted, immaculate. And the one who is awakened thus by being in the state of no mind, he knows it. Become silent, meditate, dive into shunyata. Jeko man jane, man koe.